The time is ticking on how long and if that will last. What used to be a part of this dock behind me broke off during that storm and is now washed up. As you guys can see, Grant road conditions aren't bad, but down Minota, roads are covered in snow right in front of this underpass, which is flood prone and has been closed since this afternoon. Clear and reliable communication is the key to saving lives. This is the decoy camera Edsel had to protect himself from the thieves, but this time around, he's replacing the fake with the real. You can see the entire roof gone. What you're looking at is the aftermath of the blaze that took firefighters nearly 8 hours to put out. Danford Street, after several calls, has now turned into this massive hole, nearly washing out the entire roadway. Just a few feet away from me, a notice from the city. There's plenty of things you can do to beat the heat. All it takes is something like this. Before hopping on one of these, this is what you're gonna need. It's turning what used to be just these 4 bouquets of flowers lying on top of an Osage Beach Patrol car into this.
It was a tragedy what happened, and it's even more of a tragedy what's happening to us.
Deborah Arnett used to call Bradford Court Apartments home. It's the same Kimberling City complex that burned down last month. Since then, tenants have been navigating what they describe as a stressful and frustrating aftermath. Many say they've barely been able to recover any of their belongings. That includes Deborah Arnett.
I just lost my dad 2 months ago, my mother 2 months before that, and I've lost a couple brothers and sister, and all that stuff is in the apartment, and they won't even give me one thing. Not one thing. He said he couldn't get into my apartment because it was so piled high.
Deborah says she's done everything that she can think of to get her belongings, but is still waiting for answers. But one man says he did manage to salvage a few things from this burned building. A Facebook post from Bradford Court Apartments mentioned efforts to return essentials like IDs, purses, and keys. Management asked residents to send in a list, but multiple tenants say they got back only a handful of items, and for some, the important things never made it back at all.
I asked for some tools and other stuff, and they said only 5 things. Well, guess what? I got the one carving that I done of an Indian's head, and I got to some of the kids' books. I was still missing a couple, but that's not right.
James eventually recovered his security deposit.
I got my check. I got a deposit for $150.
But Deborah is still waiting for her money without closure or her most treasured possessions.
They wrote me a deposit check that I've not received.
Todrick was more than just a teammate. He was family. He brought laughter to our huddles, strength to our team, and light to our lives. His spirit will never be forgotten.
Tonight, the lights shine a little differently at Plaster Stadium, where the community remembers 21-year-old Todrick McGee, a young man whose heart beat for football. Friends and family say his smile lit up every room. Todrick's mom, Stephanie Pope, says he was full of life, always lifting others up on and off the field.
He wanted to help players and student athletes when their playing days were over because, you know, you got to transition into the regular world. That took up so much of your life trying to get through that, but then there's life after that. And that's why he told me he wanted to do sports psychology.
Springfield police say Todrick died Saturday from an accidental self-inflicted gunshot wound.
He wasn't depressed. There's no mental issues or anything like that that would make this happen. It's just a tragic accident, and I just want people to know that, you know, he's a good kid.
But as loved ones release balloons into the sky, they're not just mourning, they're honoring a legacy along with many memories.
He was, like, always there. He was everything. He was a sibling I needed.
While his time was short, Todrick's impact is lasting, etched into every life he touched.